Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another fairy tale 100-year quest manga chapter review. I almost said arc reviews. My God, I've been recording those videos like crazy because I've been getting done with those arc reviews so fast because I watch these arc reviews or these arcs so damn fast. But no, we're not doing an arc review. Those are on Mondays at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time slash 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, if you guys wanted to know that. But we're here talking about the manga of Fairy Tail, and oh man, oh brother, don't we just love our Wendy development, man? I love Wendy development. I'm all about that Wendy development. All I need Wendy to increase is her chest size, and then guess what? She's legal for me to I guess fall in love with, because Wendy is like honestly one of my favorite fairy tale girls, and I love her so much. But other than that, we're here to talk about this week's fairy tale chapter 88 of 100-Year Quest, as we see our fairy tale members deal with Alta Face. So let's get to it now. The cover page just really shows Natsu, and it says, with his scarf flapping in the breeze, he starts thinking way back. I'm guessing he's thinking about all the past experiences he's had since we started this journey of fairy tale, right? I know. Anyways, we all know what happened last chapter. Obviously, the fairy tale members went to go underground and see what was causing all the hands popping up from underground, and we see that there is a big, gigantic kaiju golem creature named Alta Face that seemingly is similar to the face, stuff from the Tartarus arc. So we started the chapter in Whiteout Village, where obviously all the hands are just going crazy, popping out of nowhere, and you just have all the civilians saying, "Hey, get the children out. We got to get out of here. We can't let the Sumika come into the frickin' village and just wreck all havoc and everything." So obviously, some wizards here are like, prepare for the whiteout ceremony. We are the clown that harmonizes the world's magic power. Now, there's this meeting going on with the Grand White Priestess, and essentially, we're kind of getting a backstory, or I guess you could say some sort of world building or some sort of that. How can I say this? Like the ancient teachings about what Alta Face truly is. So the Grand White Priestess says, in times of old, there was a monster they described as a calamity in this world. A monster that gave rise to this power and amplified it without limit was Alta Face. And I do like how in the manga, they actually show like it looking like they show like the ancient like writings or the ancient drawings of Alta Face. They make it look like it's like those Egyptian murals you see if you go to like Egypt, and you see like the hieroglyphics and everything, like the way Egyptians used to draw their stories and explain their life stories and everything. Trust me, I've been to Egypt myself. Pretty cool stuff and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool and everything. So the Grand White Priestess goes on to say that using its magic power, the monster ruined cities, erased the lands, and swallowed the seas. It is said that our esteemed ancestors of Whiteout Village waged battle with it many times, and over many years, Alta Face was still underground. So we find out that here in Elentier, past past Whiteout Priestess and mages and stuff like that, they went up against this creation, this Alta Face. And essentially what they had to do, because its power is so overflowing and so strong, and it essentially could destroy the entire world as is, they had to like seal it up and make sure like, hey, we can't let this escape. And they had to do this over and over and over, probably decades after decades after decades after decades. So it's pretty interesting to see that this is like a creature that just keeps popping up after the seal is broken. Clearly, it seems that Celine had some hand in doing this and breaking the seal here of Alta Face. But that's pretty interesting to find out in the past. Past mages in Whiteout Village had to continuously seal this guy So essentially, what we're seeing in Elentier right now is powers ain't going out of whack, and he's just like, I gotta destroy this thing, I gotta destroy this world, and everything. The Grand White Priestess goes on to say, but while this brought peace to the world, in times those we came to know as hands appeared. The villagers soon realized that they were part of Alta Face and thus tracked them down and cut them off. So eventually they saw these hands popping out of nowhere. They're like, okay, we need to cut these off. That's what they did. But after she goes on to say, but after several centuries passed, it was learned that the hands harbored no ill intent. They would give rise to the devils known as the Sumika, which we already know, that the little dirt-like creatures that come out of the fingernails, like it's blood, known as Sumika on occasion, but even that was rare. And they're saying those creatures, the Sumika, they came out very rare. So they were really, it was like really no harm, no foul. So that's when she kind of ends her statement saying, thus the menace of Alta Face was all but forgotten. So we have Ferris get involved with this whole discussion, and she goes like, is it because of Alta Face that the world Elentier is overflowing with magic power? Which is a very good question too to ask. Like, is this like the main reason why Elentier has like an overflow of magic power? And that's what the Grand White Priestess says. She's like, yep, it sure is. Because as long as it was sealed, we were able to maintain harmony with the power of Whiteout. And essentially, that's when the other, priestesses are like, so does that mean like Alta Face has finally been reawakened? And obviously the Grand White Priestess were like, I don't know, but we got to leave it to those Fairy Tail members to do it. So obviously Fairy Tail is charging at Alta Face and they're going up against him. And essentially that's when they start dishing out attacks and everything. Now Alta Face is looking at them and says, such an ugly world this is, I cannot be stopped. So you have Natsu doing Fire Dragon King Destruction Fist. Gray's using Ice Devil Zeref Longsword. Sky Dragon War from Wendy. Aquametria from Lucy. And Ben Zakaruka Flash from Urza. And no damage has been done to Alta Face. Literally, there's not even a scratch on him. And then he fires off these cluster, blast of magic power at them and literally attacks them. Then all of a sudden, throughout this whole thing, Natsu and the others say they can't use any more magic. Like, they're absolutely drained of magic power. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm reading this. I'm like, they're out of magic power already after one hit? How are they going to defeat this thing? And stuff like that. We also see that this one blast literally, creates a giant crater of energy flashing out into the world of Elentier, which is freaking crazy. So obviously Gray is like, how the hell can we fight this thing if we can't, use our magic power and stuff like that? And this is when we see Irene get re-involved back into the storyline, helping out good old Wendy. Because Irene, like I've always been saying, is treating Wendy like the daughter she never got to have and raise, and also Wendy's got to fulfill Irene's, obvious, her obvious wishes of finding a new body to be in. I'm still, honestly, fun thought, just to go off topic a bit, I'm still waiting for Wendy to tell everybody else that, guess what, Irene's personality is within my body still from the whole Alvarez Empire arc incident, and I'm trying to find a new body for her. Is that cool with you, Urza? I'm still waiting for Wendy to tell everybody in Fairy Tail that. I feel like eventually when Irene gets her body, that's when Urza's gonna be like, who the hell is this? And Wendy's gonna be like, oh, that's Irene Belsarion. You remember the girl from Alvarez? And obviously they're gonna be like, what the hell are you doing here? But then again, they're not probably gonna be as hostile because they're cool with the Alvarez Empire characters now, and stuff like that. But it's gonna be very interesting. Again, I've always said it where I could see it where after this story is done, maybe Irene and Wendy go off and train somewhere or something like that. Or maybe Irene joins Fairy Tail to be next to Wendy to teach her different like dragon slaying magic stuff, and then maybe be there for Urza, I guess, even though technically her and Urza really doesn't have a quote unquote relationship, to be honest. They have a relationship because they're mother and daughter, but it's like she connects more with Wendy than Urza. And I feel like Urza would be like, maybe, but then again, Urza's girly to the point that she would probably like to be around her mom. So yeah, I will say this. I would definitely love the mom jokes when it comes to Urza and Jalal. I would definitely like that. So anyways, like I said, going on topic. So Irene saying the problem is it's an overflow. And essentially, Irene says, because your magic power has been pushed to your limits, your body is thinking it has reached its magic power has reached zero. So essentially, she goes on to say, take it as kind of like a scale. Essentially say, she's like, start at 99, and stuff like that. Where it's like, you have an output of magic, you have an output canister that only holds 99. And she says, look how, just think of it like a regular display, like a scoreboard. How would it look like when it reaches 100? Especially if there's only two numbers. Well, guess what? It's not going to show you have that 100 there. It's just, you don't realize that and everything. And it comes up looking like you have no magic power, like it's 00. And Irene's like, yes, that's why your body's mistaking your magic power for being at 0. And she goes and say, but reality is different. The magic power it produces makes all your magic power stronger than its limit. And that's when she goes on to say, I will help you remember. I'll help you remember about your body, your magic power, and your body. How many hardships have they overcome? And essentially, Wendy recalls ever since she was really introduced in this series, which is way back, like in the Irrational States arc, she essentially recalls the many battles she's had over the years of the series, which won the Irrational Say stuff, the Grand Magic Games, Tenro Island, Edelus, Tartaros, the battle against obviously the Diablos spider dude, I forgot his name. Everything that every battle she's been through in her entire life. And that's when obviously Irene's like, okay, so then you've already noticed it, that your limit isn't here. Essentially saying that we already know Wendy's gonna get stronger because, hey, it makes sense. I love the whole thing the fact that like Wendy is like one of the, she doesn't come across as if she's strong, but really she's like super strong. And especially when she's gonna get older, she's probably gonna be like definitely one of the strongest members in the guild. Definitely like probably by the time like when she's like, I guess around Natsu's age, in terms of where he's at, she's probably gonna be like around his just Fire Dragon King Destruction like types of level of strength. And essentially what happens is she starts powering up. And she's, I believe this is her dragon force form. It's black and white, so I can't tell. I think it is her dragon force form because her hair looks a lot lighter. And if you're gonna get on me about that, I haven't read the manga, so I never read the Fairy Tail manga, so I don't know what her dragon force form in the manga looks other than her hair difference. But this is probably, but more than likely this is a dragon force form because we know her dragon force form has to where her eyes stretch out and then she has the black pupil in the middle of her eyes. Her hair is definitely lighter. She also has the bands around her arm and everything. So yeah, and then the one interesting thing is what Natsu and Gray make a mention. They're like, Wendy, you grew up, what the hell? And essentially, Wendy's an adult. Just the only thing is, it's like she just grew without really aging. It's like as if she just grew taller without aging, which is a pretty cool, nice little design. The only thing that sucks is she has no boobage. Oh, poor Wendy. I'm actually pretty shocked that they didn't make a quick little joke of where Wendy's like looking at her chest. She's like, I'm taller and older now. She's like, but my chest is still small. I would have loved if they made that old type of thing. But not so Wendy's like, you're older. What the hell is going on? Now, Wendy's like, listen, this is only a temporary thing. I'm not going to stay taller than I already am. I'm going to go back to my size after this is done. So this is when she tells everyone, this is just a misunderstanding of her body. Your magic power hasn't reached zero. It's gone beyond its limit. And essentially that's when Wendy's like, look, trust your body and remember every past battle you had in the past, and remember all the ways you fought. So everybody powers up. They don't really show if Natsu, Gray, Lucy, and Urza all, I guess you could say probably age, but probably not because they're kind of morally adults. And a fun fact anyways, Wendy, the way she looks now, the way she looks in the chapter as she grows taller and stuff like that and looks like an older Wendy, that's how she should technically be around, Natsu, Gray, Lucy, and Urza's height, because if you guys didn't know, technically she's the same age as Ro, although all the Dragon Slayers are like 400 plus years old. In the grand scheme of things, in the timeline, when they were brought over to the current day timeline, in the fairy tale timeline, Sting, Rogue, and Wendy were legit the same age. The reason why, obviously, we know Wendy didn't age is because she was stuck in the fairy sphere for those 7 years. She would literally be the same age as Sting and Rogue. She probably would have the great boobage like every other fairy tale girl has. And I've always wondered, why Mashima I always wanted Mashima to leave Wendy in the fairy tale guild and not go to Tenro Island. So then she's kind of the only fairy tale member that comes back after everybody comes back. It would have been cool and everything, to say the least, because they would have saw an older Wendy and they were like, Wendy, is that you? And she's like, yeah. Definitely a good what if fairy tale type of speculation video. What if Wendy, stayed with the fairy tale guild while the others went to Tenro Island? Or what if Mess didn't come and request her to join her on Tenro Island? That would have been a very interesting side plot. So anyways, what happens is Wendy's like, okay, we need to hurry up because this power is not going to last long. So we have to use it while we can. So they all charge in at Alta Face. And essentially what happens is, one Alta Face says how ugly, but I believe it's Natsu saying, who cares if we're ugly or beautiful? No matter what anybody says, we do things our way. They charge into Alta Face, they make cracks into Alta Face, and then they smash through Alta Face and defeat him. And the chapter ends off with Natsu saying, that's what it is meant to be a fairy tale wizard. And that's it. So I'm not trying to say this could have been a battle where it took maybe 1 or 2 chapters. I personally think this could have been a battle that maybe took at least this chapter and then another chapter, and they brought this battle up in another chapter. Kind of fast paced how they do it. But again, like they said, whenever they animate this for the anime eventually, they could also draw it out and everything. But I'm kind of shocked that they kind of defeated Alta Face fairly simple, but at the same time, I shouldn't say, Alta Face is completely defeated, because who knows, maybe he has some sort of backup form where he channels more magic power and stuff like that. So I'm not really going to judge it so far. If it comes to be the fact that they defeated Alta Face, I will kind of be a little ticked off the fact that they finished him off this easy in 1 chapter. At least I thought it would be dragged out to 2 chapters, but hey, it is what it is. But I will be a little nitpicking, a little bit ticked off. I'm like, that was kind of quick how they defeated him. I don't know if I like that story point then. But then again, this whole arc isn't really about Alta Face. It's really about Celine and getting to Celine. We don't see anything that regards into Celine and Suzaku. So yeah, but it seems like next chapter we're gonna get the climax to this Ellen tier arc with our fairy tale characters, probably more than likely talking with the Grand White Priestess and the other people in Whiteout Village about what happened. And then they'll probably say, and then that's when Natsu will bring up, oh yeah, Celine and Suzaku escaped to another world. We don't know. And then that's probably when they're going to go to the next world to have their final battle with Celine, which I envision is going to go back to Earthland, but who knows? It is what it is. But I did like the lore they gave to Alta Face. I did like that. I like the moment where Irene again helps out Wendy understand more things. Again, I feel like Wendy, in terms of knowledge and magic power, is going to be, by the time she's an adult, she's going to be like a knowledgeable like monster when it comes to this stuff. Especially from the standpoint when I be with Irene helping her. And again, like I said, when Irene finally gets her own body, who knows what Irene does? I have a feeling like she might just join Fairy Tail, just to be with, I guess, Urza and then Wendy too to help her out. Kind of be like a master pupil type of thing. Because at the end of the day, I feel like Wendy's gonna see, you know, Irene as a motherly type of figure, even though that's not her biological mom, like it is for Urza. But to be honest, Wendy has more of a connection to Irene than Urza does. Again, not saying that they can't make a whole thing where Urza gets a connection to Irene whenever she gets her new body. That could be the case, but technically, Wendy has more of a motherly daughter type of relationship with Irene. But again, like I said, it's fine. It's always cool to see Irene again, especially when it comes to helping out Wendy to understand some things. So yeah, but other than that, there was a pretty good manga chapter for I almost said My Hero Academia, frickin' Fairy Tail. So if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's manga chapter of Fairy Tail, as well as hit that subscribe button to get more Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest manga chapter reviews. And if you do hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you hit that bell icon to get up to date with whatever I upload to the channel. And yeah, so other than that, the next time you'll see me talking about Fairy Tail, other than 100-Year Quest, will be next week's Fairy Tail arc review in terms of what I've been doing. So again, premiere videos for my Fairy Tail arc reviews, for me doing my rewatch of every Fairy Tail arc, is 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, as a live premiere video. And this week I will be talking about the Arashiyon Seis arc. This past Monday I talked about the Battle of Fairy Tail arc. This upcoming Monday I'm gonna be talking about the Arashiyon Seis arc. So other than that, guys, I'm the guy here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night when checking out this video. Till then, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.